deep beneath an ordinary hillside, where wildflowers swayed in gentle summer breezes and butterflies danced among patches of sunlight, lay hidden one of nature's most spectacular secrets. The entrance was so well concealed that it could only be found by someone walking very slowly, paying attention to subtle changes in the landscape, following an almost invisible path that seemed to appear and disappear depending on the angle of the afternoon light filtering through the canopy of ancient oak trees. A narrow opening between two moss-covered boulders revealed itself only to those who approached with patience and reverence, as if the earth itself was testing the worthiness of potential visitors. The passage was just wide enough for one person to squeeze through sideways, cool air flowing from the depths like the gentle breath of some sleeping underground giant, carrying with it hints of mystery and mineral sweetness that promised wonders waiting in the darkness below. Descending into the earth felt like entering a cathedral built by forces far older and more patient than human hands. The narrow entrance tunnel gradually widened and opened into a vast underground chamber that took several moments for eyes to adjust, enough to comprehend its true magnificence. When vision finally adapted to the soft, ethereal light that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, the sight was so breathtaking it felt like discovering a secret room in paradise itself. Every surface of the enormous cavern was covered in crystals of every imaginable size and color, growing from floor, walls, and ceiling in formations that looked more like frozen music than mere geological formation. Massive columns of pure quartz rose from the cave floor like pillars in some ancient temple, their surfaces so perfectly clear they seemed to be made from solidified air and light. Amethyst clusters the size of small trees grew in purple profusion, their deep violet hues shifting and changing as they caught and reflected the mysterious illumination that filled the space. The source of the cave's gentle radiance was the crystals themselves, which seemed to glow with their own inner light. Not harsh or artificial, but soft and warm, like moonlight filtered through water or starlight concentrated into solid form. This natural luminescence created an atmosphere of profound peace and wonder, transforming the underground chamber into a sanctuary that felt removed from ordinary time and space, existing in some realm where beauty was the fundamental law of existence. Moving deeper into the crystal cave revealed chamber after chamber, each one more spectacular than the last, connected by passages lined with formations that looked like frozen waterfalls made of pure gemstone. Delicate crystal flowers bloomed from the walls in gardens that had been growing for millions of years, their petals so thin and perfect they seemed to tremble in the barely perceptible air currents that moved through the underground paradise. The silence in the crystal cave was unlike any quiet experienced above ground, not empty, but full of potential, vibrating with energies so subtle they were felt rather than heard. Occasionally, the faintest musical tones would drift through the air, created by minute temperature changes, causing the crystals to expand and contract in harmonious resonance, producing natural melodies that seemed composed by the earth itself, for the pleasure of anyone fortunate enough to discover this hidden concert hall. In the deepest chamber of the crystal cave, an underground lake reflected the glowing walls with such perfect clarity that it was impossible to tell where reality ended and reflection began. The water was so clear and still, it looked like liquid crystal, doubling the beauty of the surrounding formations and creating the illusion of floating in space, surrounded by stars made of solid light. Sitting beside this mirror lake felt like meditation made manifest, the perfect environment for thoughts to slow down and clarity to emerge from the depths of consciousness. The crystals themselves seemed almost alive, their surfaces warm to the touch, despite the cool temperature of the cave, pulsing gently with energies that felt healing and restorative. Different formations seemed to vibrate at different frequencies, some promoting deep relaxation, others encouraging mental clarity, still others inspiring a sense of connection to something vast and eternal that existed beyond the boundaries of individual experience. Time behaved strangely in the crystal cave, flowing like honey rather than rushing like a river, allowing for the kind of deep rest that usually comes only during the most peaceful dream. Hours could pass in what felt like minutes of sitting quietly among the glowing formations, absorbing their ancient wisdom and allowing their peaceful emanations to dissolve stress and anxiety that had been carried for far too long, without conscious awareness of their weight. The air in the cave was pure and sweet, filtered through miles of living rock and charged with the subtle energies of the crystal formations, creating an atmosphere so clean and nourishing that each breath felt like drinking from some fountain of vitality hidden deep within the earth. Even the act of breathing became a form of meditation, drawing in not just oxygen but peace itself, exhaling not just carbon dioxide but the accumulated tensions of surface living. As the visit to this underground paradise gradually drew to a close, the crystal cave offered one final gift: the understanding that this beauty, this peace, this sense of connection to eternal forces was not unique to this hidden place, but was available everywhere to those who learned to look with the right kind of attention. The crystals had been teachers, demonstrating that even in the darkest places, light could grow and flourish, that beauty could emerge from the most unlikely circumstances, that patience and time could create wonders beyond imagination. Emerging from the crystal cave back into ordinary daylight felt like returning from another dimension, blinking in sunlight that seemed harsh after the gentle radiance of the underground chambers. But something had changed during the time spent among the glowing formations. A sense of inner luminescence had been awakened, a memory of what it felt like to exist in a state of natural harmony and peace. The cave remained hidden beneath the hills, but its influence continued to glow quietly within the heart, a reminder that the earth holds countless secrets of beauty and tranquility, waiting patiently to be discovered by anyone willing to slow down, pay attention, and follow the subtle paths that lead to wonder.